This is the Provo River in Utah, and Dan and I are fishing. This is the Middle Provo. It's a nice day. It's a little cloudy. It's not raining, but it's not bright. So we expect to catch a bunch of fish, which we are starting to do. We're looking for the blue-wing olive hatch is what we're looking for, and doing a little pre-fishing. We're not guiding today, and I guess you could say we're just having a good time, but actually we could claim it's work because we're looking to see what the hatch is and so forth. We're catching some rainbows. We're above the lake about a mile or so, and above Deer Creek Reservoir, and we didn't expect to catch this many rainbows, but I guess they're running up pretty good up the river. There's probably some spawning rainbows. We didn't catch any spawners, but the fish are moving. The rainbows are moving up because we're catching quite a few of them. Not as many browns as usual. I think the rainbows are getting to the fly before the browns are. This hole they must have been stacked in this hole. Dan was catching one after another. We also figure we'll catch some big whitefish. That's a lot of fun. And they pull really hard. They're hard to catch. This section of the Provo has quite a few whitefish in it. Since we didn't see any hatch, we've been fishing under. We're fishing deep with nymphs and so forth. And we were also intend to try some check nymphing, or tight line nymphing. At least I do. Dan is pretty traditional with his bounce rig. And it's play this one in carefully. I don't know what the deal is. Guess he's just taking his time. What are you doing, catching one fish after another before I can even get in there?
Well,
that's what I asked you to do.
Yeah. Well, we just do what we always do. I know you're trying the check nymph thing, and we've seen a lot of success with that. But when the main fishing lane is more than your rod's length away from where you're standing, I think you're better off just using a bounce rig. So, and I think this particular hole is showing that, because all the fish are just past the effective fishing range, I think, of the check nymph, but the bounce rig's still picking them up. So we'll keep trying both things and see what happens.
Well, we finally saw a little bit of activity, a few rises, and I got out there and did some tight line nipping, or check nipping, if you will. I don't guess I ought to call it check nipping because I wasn't using the regular type weighted check nip type flies, but it was tight line nipping. Got one on there. Since there were rainbows up, I thought I'd try a little egg pattern, and I was successful with that. I guess you wouldn't call that check nipping if you had an egg pattern, but the principle is the same. You do it by feel. Got a nice fish there. That's a nice whitefish. They're hard to catch. They're not a sucker now. That's the mountain whitefish. That's a noble fish. It's a good fish. You have to treat them carefully. They're a noble fish.
Well, this morning, instead of just normally when we come to the river, we're just sort of in the mindset of fish aren't rising, we're going to bounce. But I think we've got enough bounce rig video that everybody has understood that. So we're going to start working on things like check nymphing or Euro nymphing. And so we've showed up at this hole this morning. We found the fish. And with the bounce rig, I've probably made 10 casts and got 3 fish. So we could do this all day long. And now Jim's run the Euro nymphing through there, and he just caught that big whitefish. And what's funny is he caught it on an egg, and we thought eggs were shut down. But since the rainbows are up here, we thought we'd try just to see if the rainbows were hitting eggs, where the big whitefish are still hitting eggs.
Yeah, for experimental purposes.
So today everything's been caught on worms or eggs, and it's been caught bouncing, or now with the Euro nymphing. So we'll just keep testing these and just see which ones we think works the best. Well, we had good success fishing deep with nymphs and little midge pupas and Provo River worms, but finally we started to get some more action, and there were some little blue wings coming off. Dan stayed with the nymph, but I decided that maybe I ought to try the dry fly, so I was waiting for that. This is April, early April. So they were rising a little bit, so I put on a Phil Bear no seam. It's a little dry fly, blue wing olive pattern, about a size 20, and it was pretty easy. Of course, there were little rainbows, but it was lots of fun. I caught 2 or 3. You don't have to catch big fish to have a good time. Did you get that? He wrapped my leg and got away. That's a good video there. I've been had. I'm catching whitefish in this. This is a good whitefish hole. Catching whitefish and occasional brown trout. Getting them now on a little midge pupa about a size 22, but I'm fishing under. These whitefish play hard. They fight hard. Notice I'm letting go upstream and downstream. I'm changing directions on them. That's one way you can wear them down. Got to get those whitefish out of the current. If they're in the current, they almost go on forever. If you get them out of the current, though, then they're at a disadvantage. Much more so than a brown trout. Pretty place back in there on the Middle Provo. Nice day. We're having a good time. Thought I'd try 1 or 2 more casts. We're getting along towards the late afternoon, and we're about ready to go. Hard to stop though when they're hitting good. This is fighting real hard. It's got to be a whitefish. They fight hard. They run up the current, pull hard. Pretty dependable guess if they do that. You notice I'm changing directions on the rascal. Get him out of the current. Get him out of the current before he knows what's going on. Once they're out of the main current, they're pretty weak. They use the current to their advantage, and when they're out of the current, you got them. Yeah, they'll make the day for us.